All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Brittany, and I'm an admissions representative with Kansas State University Online. I want to start off by thanking everyone for joining us tonight to learn more about our Family and Community Services Master's Degree Program. I'm joined by Dr. Carrie Morgan and Ashley Schultz, and they're going to spend roughly the next 20 to 30 minutes giving us a presentation about this program, and then we'll spend the last 10 to 15 minutes answering questions. Throughout the duration of this presentation, we will be monitoring the chat feature and answering questions as they're being asked. However, we might save some questions for the end. So feel free as questions come up to put them in the chat and we'll be happy to help. And now I'd like to turn it over to Ashley.
All right, thank you, Brittany. My name is Ashley Schultz, and I am the Great Plains Idea Campus Coordinator for the programs at K-State. We are excited that you're joining us today and interested in the Family and Community Services program. So first, I will start off our presentation by giving a quick overview of exactly what is Great Plains Idea, and then I will have Dr. Morgan talk more about the K-State and Family Community Services program. And then at the end, we'll have the time for questions and answers. And definitely as we go through the program, please put in the chat any questions you have. And to start us off, if you would put in the chat where you are joining us from tonight and also introduce yourself. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so first let's talk a little bit about what exactly is Great Plains Idea. So we are a national consortium of 19 universities offering online flexible programs. 6 of those 19 universities partnered together to form the Family and Community Services program. So this really gives you a unique opportunity to take online courses taught by multiple universities. By doing so, you'll benefit from the diverse perspectives and the unique strengths brought by classmates and faculty at all of our partner universities. In addition, it's a great way to collaborate with classmates and faculty, providing you with an opportunity to expand your professional network. So like I mentioned, 6 universities partnered together to form the Family and Community Services program, and I have them listed here. Each of these universities really bring different strengths and experience to the program, offering you an educational experience that you cannot really get anywhere else. All right, so you're probably wondering how all of this works. So first, you will apply and be admitted to one university, which will become your home university. So for example, that would be K-State. And then once you are admitted, you will then enroll in all of your courses and pay the GP Idea common price tuition through your home university of K-State. However, during your time in the program, you will end up taking courses taught by any of our 6 partner universities. Each university does use their own learning management system. So myself, as the Great Plains Idea Campus Coordinator, and the campus coordinators at the teaching universities will help you get set up with course access each semester. Then at the end, when you are finished with all of your coursework, the degree or certificate is awarded by your home university, Kansas State. So next, we will watch this short little 2-minute video just to give you a little more detail on how GP Idea works.
Are you having trouble deciding which university has the best online college degree programs? Why limit your opportunities to just one university? Through Great Plains Idea, you can earn an online degree in high-demand professional fields while taking classes from several of our 19 member universities. Not only will you interact with students and peers from all over the world, you will also learn from faculty all over the country. Great Plains Idea provides faculty a creative way to come together, maximize their skills and knowledge, and develop a student-centered program that prepares you for the next phase of your career. So how does Great Plains Idea work? You choose one home university, and while you'll enroll and pay tuition there, your courses will be taught completely online by faculty from each of the member universities. When you complete your coursework, your degree is awarded by your home university. Students pay the same common price per credit hour, regardless of which university is teaching the course. That means no out-of-state tuition or distance delivery fees. Plus, you don't have to worry about transferring credits. Great Plains Idea can help you earn your degree as you learn from the best faculty at our member universities. Whether you are ready to advance your career, thinking about changing careers, or a recent graduate, Great Plains Idea is right for you. Your future, our idea.
Right, so hopefully this gives you a better understanding of how Great Plains Idea works. And please keep putting any questions that you have into the chat. Now I will turn it over to Dr. Carrie Morgan, who will talk more about the K-State program.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And we're fixing the chat so you can put some questions in there. So we thought that some of you might be wondering, what is Family Community Services? And it's a graduate program that allows you to have more depth and understanding about families and context, as well as develop skills to help support families. So it's really, it's a program that is found in other universities, sometimes called something like Human Development and Family Sciences. But the neatest part about our program is that you get the content you need in advanced human development and family science, as well as practical and hands-on skills. For example, you can take an elective in grant development, but within the program, you're required to take courses related to program design, program administration. So it's really I think the best of both worlds in turn for those of us that are really interested in expanding our knowledge of family relationships, families in context, and individual development. And what can you expect to learn from the program? I think I probably already talked about that, but you're really going to learn more in-depth skills. Like some of the students that join our program have undergraduate background in human development or family science, but many don't. So it really helps you to really understand the science and what current research is related to families and individual development and program design and administration. So for example, the classes that you would take focus on, two of them in particular, focus on family resiliency, families in crisis, and family dynamics. So really having some really nice depth within those areas, but it's not just learning for the sake of learning, you'd also be learning how to apply it. So another example would be, I teach a course called Family Resource Management, and that might not even make sense what that is, but it helps people to understand the resources that families have, all the kinds of resources, not just financial resources, but then apply it to the program that they're interested in. So for example, some of our students work in, are interested in working with foster youth, foster care. And so their program would help to focus on how can we better support families and maybe even foster kids that are graduating from the foster care system with the resources they need. And really think about, sometimes it helps us to think about concepts that we just take for granted, but in different and nuanced ways. That would be, as I call it, being a master's trained professional helps you to think about things in different ways. And Jan, I'll get to that question in just a second. So, and why study through GPID at K-State? I think Ashley alluded to that. One of the neatest things about our program is that you get to take, you're graduating from a university that's well known and accepted throughout the United States. A Kansas State degree is a degree that has a lot of credibility. You see us here, some of you might even be connected with K-State, but you see us wearing our purple. And I always joke to my students that purple people take care of each other. And so you have a huge network across the nation. And then the fact that our program is part of the GP Idea means that you're connected with other people who are a lot like you, interested in bettering families and communities all across the nation who are graduating from other top programs. So it's a really neat partnership. The faculty are excellent, and we our support staff like Ashley, and here at our program we have a colleague, Laura, who really helps to support our students. So let me go and peek at this real quick. Let me just look at these questions real quick. So Gianna asked, and I was just thinking about one of my students I have from Alabama, who's doing some really neat work right now and did a really cool internship. So a bachelor's in communication, what we would look at when we're admitting students to the program is aptitude and interest. And so communication is very much connected with the two, but even if you had a degree that was in engineering and we're just like, you know what, this is why I want to transition, we would be very much interested in your application. And so we don't, and so there'll be some times where we might say to someone, well, why don't you take a couple courses provisionally and just make sure it's a good fit for you. But in your case, bachelor's, wouldn't imagine that anyone would even blink twice. We have students from all sorts of undergraduate degrees. And then Hunter says, in the current graduate program with intergenerational family and community approaches, so I want to learn more about this coursework. Yeah. So, and I can't remember. Oh, the next slide actually talks about our courses. So why don't I transition to that? That be okay? Oh, Ashley has to do it for me. Now, Hunter, your program sounds very similar to ours. I'd like to learn more about that too. So these are our courses, which you probably maybe have seen from looking at our website. And so I don't know that I want to talk about each one. I sort of alluded to these courses already. And so each of these courses, if you were to be in our program, this first class, Foundations and Principal Family Community Services, really helps to make sure we're kind of all on the same level playing field when it comes to the degree program and basic content and basic principles of serving families and understanding families. And that course is offered through our faculty at Michigan State or University of Missouri, Dr. Bullock or Dr. Lester, and they love what they do and they love supporting our GP Idea students. And then often our students take a couple classes a semester and then move through. One of the neatest parts about K-State, another reason to pick why K-State, is that in our program, and not every program in the Alliance, not Alliance means all the other GP Idea schools, not every program offers a capstone. We require a capstone. And so that allows you to connect all of the information you've learned across your coursework and apply it to a topic of interest to you. So we think that's a really important piece of our program. It's something we're really proud of. You'll have a committee, so it's not just you and me. Other K-State faculty members would help support you with looking at your idea for your capstone project. And then at the end, when you're done with your capstone project, we sit with the faculty and have a conversation. And so when you graduate from this program, you should feel really proud of the work you did, that you've done what I call, again, I use that term, master's level work. You're putting together ideas and making connections, learning new and different skills that help you to advance whatever goals you have in your career, in your personal life, whatever it is, whatever the reason is that you're taking this degree. We want to make sure it makes sense to you. Any questions that you want to put in the chat again? Or we can just keep moving forward too. The next one is this career paths. And I'll just be honest with you, I have just recently started coordinating this program. And so we have a long legacy of alumni that have come before us. And I am working on getting the list of where all the awesome places our alumni are in. I'm very familiar right now with all of our students who are in our program and the amazing work that they're doing. So we have students from all over the nation and all different walks of life, all different ages, all different areas of interest. And then also what I love is that we have, again, students at other universities that I just emailed with 2 of them this week that we've stayed in touch since we taught that class. And they all have such different interests of what they want to do. So for example, my student that's in Alabama, she has a really interesting title, but she works at a high school helping, I think it's a private high school, helping connect families to the resources the students are going to need as they transition to college. We have students that work here in extension. So extension, if you're not familiar with the extension, that's people that work in most counties across the United States, taking information, research-based information, developing programs for families. We have one of our alumni or current students is down in Southern Missouri, and she works with addiction recovery and some really neat and innovative programs in her community. And I could go on and on, but those are the types, really pretty much not one thing, which I think is what is so exciting about our program. Say, I can't remember. Ashley, am I talking about this still? Yes, so I am. So here we have, we do, as faculty, what we look at when we're, so your application is looked at by all of the faculty that we have here at K-State, because we want to make sure it's a connection for you. It's not that we're being like some sort of judge and jury. We're just looking and saying, do you have that academic aptitude and interest that's a good fit for our program? Because we don't want to, sell a false bill of goods. We want you to make sure it's a really good fit for you and who you are. So we look at your grades, especially your last grades in your bachelor's program, which for some of you, that might have been 10 years ago, and some of you might have been 2 years ago or 20 years ago. So we look at that. And of course, you write to us and say what you're interested in and why that makes sense. And then you have your references, which we accept a range of references. In some graduate programs, they want an academic reference. And for some of our students, that doesn't make sense. If you haven't been in college for 10 years, why would you, like if I have a student 10 years out, I teach undergrads, like why would it make sense for me? They're probably a different person than they were 10 years ago. And then of course, the transcripts. And we accept applications year round. And in this, it says, I was just noticing this today, that says apply within 2 to 3 months, but I'm kind of laughing at that because we have students apply like a couple weeks ahead, and sometimes we can get them in. So Ashley's laughing because it happens, and we work with them because we have such a great team here who really cares about you. But it's hard, right? If you're trying to get in, like for this summer, our faculty are right now busy grading and dealing with end of the semester stuff. So it might take us a little bit. So we do recommend that you do the process earlier rather than later. And of course, there's application fees. So let's see, so this will be another time if you have, again, just keep dropping stuff in the chat. If you have worries, anxieties, bachelor's, yeah, not a problem at all. As long as we've had students from all over the world. We've had, actually right now we have a student who has a bachelor's degree from Mexico. She actually lives here in Kansas, not that it matters, but yeah, I'm pretty sure her bachelor's degree is from Mexico. But yeah, we've had students from all over the world. We have right now in our campus-based program, students from Ghana and students from China. And now in our campus program, this global campus program, we have the student from Mexico, but there's probably someone I'm not thinking of, so not a problem. So here's some of our frequently asked questions. So when are classes offered? This could be interpreted a couple different ways. So we are, actually, that fourth question is how I'm going to answer this. So classes are offered summer, spring, fall. I'll be honest with you, summer, we don't have as many courses. Although now that I'm saying that, yeah, it varies a little bit, but you can always take classes. And and as part of our program, you and I or Laura and you would sit down and we'd map it out. So we would know that if you want to make sure you're taking courses in the summer, and we just map it out for the next 3 years and get it figured out, or however long you want it to take, we figure it out. So summer, spring, fall, year round. You have to take a certain amount of credit hours if you want to get financial aid. And I think that's 6. Additional fees, Ashley already talked about that a little bit, that you pay a set fee. And I don't know if Ashley could chime in there about more fees.
Yeah, I definitely might chime in, Carrie. That is the one great thing about the Great Plains Idea program through K-State, is that the student, you would pay a GP Idea common price, which currently is $600 per graduate credit hour. So, and that would be the same if you are taking the class at K-State or at one of our other participating universities. And then there are no additional like distance delivery fees. There's no, technology fees. So if you are taking, one 3-hour credit course, then your tuition bill should be just $1,800, no fees tacked on top of that.
But that's what I was thinking, but I was like, oh, even though I read over these notes and I was like, oh, I know all the answers, and I said second guessing myself. So the synchronous and asynchronous, I think those are kind of big words that are confusing to me. What that means is that you will never be required to be someplace on Monday nights at 7 p.m. They're asynchronous. That is a guarantee. Some of our, actually interesting, many of our students are now wanting to have face-to-face since we've all discovered Zoom. We're like, we kind of like this. But if faculty offer that, it will be an option. And so you are guaranteed that you're not required to, most of the classes open on Monday, and then your work would be due by Sunday. But when you do that, and that time is up to you. So it's not that it's just total free for all, but you aren't expected to be someplace at a set time. And then keep in mind, our students are in all time zones. Like right now, I haven't had any students that have been out of the country, but that's very much possible because we do have a lot of military affiliations and people who are either active duty or who are partners are active duty. And so we've definitely had students in Europe. I'm just thinking last summer I had students in Europe. So all time zones. Supports as I get as a graduate student that it's kind of neat. In graduate school, you actually have a lot of the same supports. We have K-State has mental health resources that are available even to our global campus students. You could have support from disability support services if you would qualify for additional supports. That's 100% guaranteed and available. Our courses are accessible. I'll get to that in a second, Gianna. Mental health writing center supports and resources, and then just you can go on and on, but support from Ashley and me with just sort of navigating mainly from Ashley, navigating the process. Support for me, I help students with career and resume and just thinking about jobs and networking and those kinds of things. So those are just really kind of all those types of supports are available. And then the job market is, again, people are probably wondering, and I say, what I recommend for students with that is I recommend you actually look at the jobs you'd like go on a source like Indeed or something, or LinkedIn Jobs, or better yet, go to the places where you'd like to work. Go to, all the cool agencies doing the exciting work you'd like to do and see what they require. So for example, for me, when I was looking at my undergraduate, when I was looking at graduate school, if I'd wanted to be an extension agent, which I did want to do later on, I would go and look and I'd see sometimes I'm required to have a master's degree, and this master's degree is a great fit for that. Other types of degrees you might go and look, you might be like, oh yeah, I need to be a licensed social worker for the job I want. Well, then you need to pick a different program, I'll be honest with you. But that's where I would say the job market, it's very specific to location. So, and what you want to do. So it's hard to answer that question. I want to be really honest about that. So let me look at Gianna. Transfer credits. No, you don't. In graduate, we don't take in undergraduate. So you would have to complete all of these classes. Sometimes we do take credits from other graduate programs, but not from undergraduate programs. And so I'd say, Ashley, it's about most students finish in 2 to 3 years. I'm trying to think. So, because there's 36 credit hours, so that's 12 classes. And I'm just doing the math here. It always goes a lot quicker than I feel like it, because you feel like you're just taking 2 classes a semester, but it goes really quick.
Yes.
So,
and I think that's one of the great things too, is that you can take one course a semester, you can take two. Some students, take up to three if they don't have a lot of, extra stuff that they do have to do at home, or if they aren't working full time. But then also if you need to pause for a semester or two, that's completely fine. That's, that definitely has happened, over the last couple of years, where due to financial reasons or health reasons, people just had to pause for a semester or two, but then you can definitely come back and start the program up again.
Yeah. I actually say the pausing thing is pretty common,
I would say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also not common. I think that's what's neat, is that I've been just so nicely surprised at the variety of students and life experiences that we have. And it's really neat. I would imagine it's really neat to learn. I enjoy learning from such a wide group of students, but I would imagine that I know the students enjoy that too. So. I'm just being quiet in case other people have other questions.
One other thing that I might mention, Carrie, is that, it can be definitely intimidating to start up the graduate program, especially if you haven't, if you've done your bachelor's 10, 20 years ago. And that's the great thing here, that you have support from every step of the way, from the application process to enrolling in courses, to the very end, between myself, Dr. Morgan also mentioned Laura in the office, as well as Brittany, our admissions rep. So we're always available for questions, to provide support, guidance. We're here the whole time you're in the program. So I know it can be a little intimidating to possibly start back up or start a graduate program.
Well, I'll give a few moments if anyone wants to put any other questions that they have in the chat. And I want to, during this time, also thank you, Carrie and Ashley, for that great presentation. I also want to thank everyone for being here to join us tonight, and let you know, if you're ready to apply, please go to online.ksu.edu and you can get the application done there. And for attending the webinar tonight, we are offering application fee waivers for attendees who are applying to the summer or fall 2023 semesters. So by attending tonight, you are eligible for that. Feel free to contact us at online@ksu.edu, the email that is on your screen, and let us know that you attended tonight and you'd like to request your application fee waiver, and we'll be happy to get that code to you. Finally, if you have any additional questions that we didn't cover tonight, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to us at online@ksu.edu and we can get you connected with the department. So if there's any questions that you think of later tonight or tomorrow, please reach back out to us. We'll be happy to help.
They're not available publicly. I'm just trying to think if there's anything on the website. And I don't know if they could be emailed to you. That would be something I'd have to ask about that. Or so if you could reach out to Ashley, if there are specific classes you're interested in. Oh, the content so there you are. And there's descriptions. I don't know, Hunter, if you've looked on the website. And for example, I know my family resource management class, the syllabus doesn't cover the specific content. And so it would be more of looking at the course description. That's the guarantee for what the content is in the class. And the same thing with the parenting education. But we could probably, if you really were interested in more, I'm sure that the faculty might be really interested in talking with you about that. And of course, it would vary. The syllabus varies on who's teaching it, to be honest with you, too. So if you're taking it, but we all honor the same course description. And that's publicly available on our website. Mhm.
Well, if there are no other questions, I want to thank you again for being here tonight and remind you to reach out to K-State Online to request that application fee waiver for summer or fall when you're ready to apply. And thank you again to Carrie and Ashley for that great presentation.